Man, I got so much we can hit and talk about this morning. But I do kind of like winging it a little bit. So on X, at SaveJXN is my X handle. If y'all are following, if you have an X account, or if you've been living under a rock, formerly known as Twitter, just at SaveJXN. I found a meme that I liked a lot. It shows, we'll just call it the Hoover Dam. It shows something that resembles the Hoover Dam. And below that dam is any random city in America or the internet, depending on how you decipher this meme. And behind that dam is a massive, massive lake. And that lake is represented as a rainbow flag in this meme. And the dam has printed on it May 31st. That's tomorrow. It's holding back the flood of pride nonsense that's going to wash us all away for the next 30 days in June. Or however many days are in June. Let's see here. 30 days. Yep. Got it right this time. You ever realize there's only 30 days in a month and be like, I thought February was the only month that wasn't 31 days. Anyway, the next 30 days, starting Saturday, Pride Month begins. So I post this meme and it quote, the Rainbow Supremacists are coming. The Rainbow Supremacists are coming. And this group from here in Mississippi, it's these fake conservatives. They kind of call themselves MSGS from MSGOP. And it says decoded messages from conservatives. Is the name of it. So they share my post. And they say Clay got mad when they started allowing women in bars too. So somehow, us not wanting to party all Pride Month with y'all and to have rainbows and butterflies shoved down our throats and our children's for 30 months, 30 days, if it might as well be 30 months. For us not wanting to see this lifestyle glorified for 30 straight days. I mean, let's be honest. It's 365 days a year this stuff gets shoved in our faces. None of this can be by accident either, by the way. These algorithms are destroying America. But I don't care what your disdain is for. That's what you're going to see the most of. All they show black people is white cops beating black people. It's the same 3 or 4 incidents over and over and over. Or they're constantly shoving images of 1960s Jim Crow era South when the white liberals were actually in control down here. Constantly shoving that down everybody's throats to make them angry all the time. Then in our news feeds, they show us constant streams of black people committing crimes or burning their cities down, figuratively and literally. And then they shove this rainbow supremacy agenda on all of us in our news feeds. And it creates this toxic atmosphere because they know what they're doing. They're driving rage traffic to their sites. They engage you. They keep you on their site because they know you're going to run to those comments and you're going to argue about it. And because they're just attacking the fabric of your being. the pillars of your morality. And they do that to both sides. They do that to all of us. And I just picked 3 things: race, gay, and what was the third one about? Race, gay, whatever. They shove that on us constantly. And I'm sure if you're pro-Palestine, they're putting something Zionist in front of you. If you're Jewish, they're putting something anti-Semitic in front of you. But it works. It works like a charm. To my point here. So because I don't want to be washed away when the dam breaks and we get flooded with the rainbow for the whole upcoming month, somehow that means I also am against women's rights. I'm just going to tell you something. This whole, and if you listen to the show enough, you know I always throw this disclaimer out there. Regular gay people, I'm not talking to y'all. Because something tells me most of this ain't really gay people doing this. This is people who have hitched their wagon to your horse. This just reeks of white liberalism, virtue signaling. These are the same people who keep stuff stirred up between conservatives and blacks. But somehow, because I don't want to be washed away with that nonsense, the best these people can come up with is, yeah, Clay doesn't like women in bars. Either, no, I'm not gay. I love women in bars. It would suit me fine if no other guys were allowed in bars. I just say the stupidest stuff. Let's go to the Guns and Gear text line. I see my phone lighting up over here. Sharon says, you can't argue with idiots and you can't fix stupid. Man, say that louder for the people in the back. Lost Sheep says, did you see the winner of The Voice? Black transgender gay man, looks like a woman with a beard. Just knew she was going to win with Pride Month coming up. Stunning and brave. Stunning and brave for that shim to get up there and win The Voice. John says, well, when are we getting our Pride Month? Never. All right, so I'm glad Unknown Texture just sent this to me. I'm really appreciative of this. So I rarely sit down and actually watch the local news. You don't have to watch it. You can go to their websites. They put it all up there in segments so you don't have to watch their commercials. But I happened to stumble upon the news yesterday, and JPS just received a $9.5 million grant for new electric school buses. And they were doing a speech at a JPS school. I got the video. I got 9 seconds before I can click on this video. And somebody from the Biden administration comes down. And of course, they immediately make it about race. Now, these are the same people who get mad at me when I put the race of crime suspects or victims, if they're not black, in my post. Now, I only do that to aggravate them and to show them how annoying it is when they do it. Yet they still do it. Again, you're only allowed to mention minorities when you're talking in the context of them doing something good, accomplishing something, winning something, getting a promotion, becoming the first ... ever, or somebody white did something bad to them. You can never mention that they did something bad to each other or to somebody else. You're not allowed to do that. Breaking rules when necessary. I mean, I just feel like I'm trying I'm trying to like break a wild horse. And I'm trying to break us back to common sense. I'm breaking a buck. Is that what it's called? I'm not a cowboy. Anyway, the Biden rep makes the electric school buses about race. Here's a story from WLBT.
Electric school buses operating at Jackson Public Schools by the end of next school year.
It's part of a nationwide grant from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. 3
News Time's Nathan Lee shows you what the buses look like.
It's our moral obligation to ensure that all of our children have clean air to breathe and clean water to drink, and an opportunity to live a healthy life.
Many state and city leaders joined Environmental Protection Agency Administrator Michael Reagan at Kirksey Middle School Wednesday. The event was an announcement of EPA awarding $9.5 million to Jackson Public Schools to buy 25 new electric buses and fund supporting infrastructure. The grant is a part of EPA's Clean School Bus program, which has allocated funds to school districts nationwide to obtain these electric and low-emission school buses.
We all know that traditional school buses
This is where they make it about race.
rely on engines that emit toxic pollutants in the air, putting the health and well-being of every single student in jeopardy. Every bus driver, every resident, every teacher that has that bus duty. The surrounding community is at risk, but it doesn't have to be.
The EPA also announced they nearly have $900 million to continue replacing diesel-fueled school buses across the country. Congressman Benny Thompson was at the forefront in bringing this program to Mississippi. He and Mayor Shoke Antar Lumumba both say they're not done finding new ways to keep improving the way of life throughout the state.
You can't tell me about the budget when it comes to investing in young folk. We can figure it out. If we can send people to the moon and bring them back, we can figure out how we can finance education for our children.
This directly affects our children and directly affects their quality of life and is a restoration of dignity to them and their parents. Thank you very much.
Nathan Lee.
Dang it, they clipped it out. My apologies. I did not watch the whole clip here on the internet before I played it. The original guy that was talking from the EPA, Reagan, made it specifically clear that these buses was for black and brown students, disenfranchised black and brown students. Well, what about the white students? Are they allowed to ride the bus? Are they allowed to ride the bus? Or do they have to stay on the old buses? This is the stuff we talk about. When they give something, well, they ain't giving this crap to anybody. Y'all pay for it for the sake of arguing. When they give this stuff to people, let's just say they go to Brandon, 35% black. Do they go to Brandon and say, we got these new clean buses for our white students? No, they don't. But when they go somewhere majority black, it's automatically this pandering. And this is the Joe Biden administration. They just pander and they make everything. And I know this whole show this morning has been about race, but there's a point behind it. They make it about race constantly. And then they get mad when we bring up race. It can't be both ways. I'll quit doing it when y'all quit doing it. Just say, hey, we're worried about the environment, which I think that's a scam and a hustle anyway. I guarantee you, and I'm sure somebody can look, it's not what I do. I don't look at campaign finance stuff. But somewhere in there, that electric school bus company made a political donation to somebody that made this happen. Whether it be Benny Thompson, Chokwe, or Joe Biden, if not all three. Who gonna work on those things around here?